So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Iowa Hawkeyes. And the Iowa Hawkeyes faced off against NIU. Look, not the greatest competition in the world, on both teams unranked. But I will say, Iowa might be, from unranked, I was about to say they might be the most dangerous unranked team. But I'm like, man, there's a lot of good unranked teams. I'm going to be honest. Like, we saw Michigan hoop. Like, there are good unranked teams. TCU could be very good. Like, they've got 7th year freaking Sedona Prince playing. And Iowa, I thought, looked very, very nice. And the thing when it came to them with the game was their ball movement just looked, again, maybe it's against a bad team, but they look like they move the ball better than anyone else. And also, they have a superb freshman class. Like, Iowa had an absolutely superb freshman class. You've got Tegan Melegney. She came in. She played okay. Didn't shoot the ball the greatest. What's her name? Hayden. She's a freshman as well. Big coming off the bench. And they all look like they could play. The only problem with Iowa is, like, Lucy Olsen's not a shooter. That is the biggest problem, is that Lucy Olsen still is not a good 3-point shooter. Like, if she was somebody that you would be confident in shooting a 3-ball, like, I would be much higher on this team. Like, again, but their whole thing is like you lose Caitlin Clark, but you don't lose that offensive kind of identity. Like, your whole team are able to pass. Lucy Olsen is a shot creator. You've got Hannah Stolke kind of playing a few minutes. Like, again, Hannah Stolke got hurt early in the game. She came back and had a decent game, I thought. Like, she did chip in with 12 points. But if you want to look at the whole teams, their entire starting five, and this is something that I do think is really impressive, that their entire starting five are in double digits. Like, every single player in their starting five scored 10 points. And then you've got Melegney coming in. She went and gave them 8 straight. But again, the problem is 1 of 5 from 3 from her. They shot 31% from 3, which isn't the worst, but they do need to shoot better. Like, Lucy Olsen needs to be a even average 3-point shooter for this team to do well. But 7 assists for Olsen. She shot a decent percentage from the field, really good percentage from 2. And her all-around shot creation is really nice. Like, she can score, she gets buckets. She really can just score with the best of them. And you've still got, again, like, O'Grady can still play a bit. Hannah Stolke's good. I do think that by the end of the season, we're probably going to see the team go small ball. I can see the team running Stolke at center again. At times with Melegney coming in at power forward. Furbach was good. Like, she really shot the lights out. Obviously, she's a senior. If she was shooting like this last year, would have really helped the team. But they still have Sydney Fulter coming back. But, like, this is a team that has 2 players on Wooden Award watch in Stolke and Lucy Olsen. Lucy Olsen is going to be one of the best scorers in college basketball again. She's going to go and get you, and she's a bucket. She's an absolute bucket. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like, she can find her own shot in the mid-range. She can create for her teammates. She can create for herself. And the only problem with her is it's just the 3-ball. Like, you can, if you want to look at Lucy Olsen creating in that mid-range, like, she can go left, she can go right, she can shoot the pull-up. She has got everything as far as her offensive game, as far as game goes on the offensive end. The problem is, though, is that she's just not got that 3-ball. And this is going to be a team that is going to be undersized. They're going to be reliant on the 3-ball, but I don't think they're going to be as reliant as they used to be. And I thought she did a nice job just as a point guard. Like, she came in as more of like a scorer, and I do think she did a good job of, like, sharing the rock, getting it around. But, like, you can just see with Lucy Olsen how polished her mid-range game is. Everything about her is just, she is a bucket. There's no other way of describing it. Like, she is an absolute bucket. But, like, Iowa still are dangerous. Like, do I think they're the best team in college basketball? Of course not. Of course they're not. Like, they should be a top 25 ranked team. I'm just putting it out there. Like, they are better than some ranked teams. I don't know Like, they don't have the firepower, but I reckon they would be a tough out for a team. I think South Carolina beat them, especially with, what's her name back? Ashland Watkins back. But I think they're, like, if they face USC in a game, I wouldn't be that certain, because I think they're both Big Ten now. Like, I wouldn't be that certain of USC beating Iowa, just because the thing with Iowa is they have 6'5", 6 threats. They've got a good freshman class, and they move the ball so well. Like, they move the ball almost as well as any team. Everything is kind of movement, and they have just a bucket getter in Lucy Olsen, in fairness. And then they've got a bunch of 4-star freshmen. Like, they don't have any 5 stars. Doesn't really matter. They're all, like, almost all their freshmen. They have 4 top 100 recruits this year. And now you're looking for next year and the year after. You are looking at players coming in, like, looking to go to Iowa that are 5 stars. You're looking at 5 stars looking to go to Iowa. And that was kind of the Caitlin Clark effect. And that's the thing with Lucy Olsen. Like, I think Lucy Olsen is going to be on a lot of draft boards next year. I think for the 2025 WNBA draft, Lucy Olsen is going to get herself, I think she's going to get herself into that conversation. Because, like, she flat out score. Like, do I think she's going to be a W player? Probably not. But I think that the reality of the situation is she's probably going to have enough eyes on her at Iowa. I think Iowa are going to be a good enough team. Like, where do they have Iowa ranked? I just want to see where they ranked the teams, because I think there was a like a prediction where they had the Big Ten teams. So not the Big Ten teams, for that conference, and they had them like ranked really, really low. Like the preseason power rankings, they have them ranked 6th in their conference. And I'm like, I watched a bit. Oh, turn off ad blocker. But like they have them ranked there. I'm like, it's just low. Like, they're going to be slept on. Like, they're not going to win the championship. But like, USC are 1, UCLA. I think they really struggle with UCLA, more so because of Lauren Betts. I think Lauren Betts is the player that they're really going to struggle with against UCLA. And I think it's the huge size. Like, from seeing a little bits of Maryland, I don't think they're much better in Maryland. Indiana might be another one of those teams that are looking like one of the best teams outside of the rankings. But like, Iowa not being top 25 is crazy. It is crazy, especially for the start of the year, because the way they play, the way they're coached, they don't have, like, obviously they lost 3 of their main players, but they still have Sita Fulter, they still have Hannah Stolke, and like Fulter is still there to come back, who's probably the 2nd best player, maybe the 3rd best player on this team. So if I was an Iowa fan, I'd be excited in a way that like you're going to be good. I wouldn't be expecting like used to win anything crazy. Like, I would not be out there expecting you to make the finals again. But like, tournament run, maybe get Elite 8. Not off the cards. Honestly, I don't think that's off the cards. Again, that would be probably their peak, but they're not an easy team to play. And their defense is lacking, but offensively, they don't have Caitlin Clark anymore. But I mean, Lucy Olsen's a hell of a player, to be honest.